Ladies and gentlemen, it was old school Raw. And it's very appropriate that it was old school because, it was just like old times. Yeah, old times like the past couple of years. It was absolute fucking shit. What a shitty fucking show. It was like a statue in the park that a bunch of fucking birds take a shit on. I guess you could call it, since it's wrestling, a fabulous free birds type of shit. Yeah, well, the show was fucking garbage, and the best way to start off a review is from the top. So let's get right into it. Starts off with the Nature Boy Ric Flair. How could you go wrong with the Nature Boy Ric Flair? How could you possibly go wrong? One of the biggest stars of all time, one of the biggest wrestlers who had some of the greatest matches in professional wrestling history. How can you possibly go wrong with Ric Flair being on your show? I'll tell you how. Put Orton and Cena there, and that's how you get a big piece of shit right off the bat. So it's Orton and Flair, and there's no emotion here. There was no attempt, not even by Flair really. Flair just looked bored here. This is probably one of the most uninspired, boring promos from Ric Flair. How can you really get excited being face to face with Orton and also pretending to be friends with John Cena? John Cena comes out, and it's the classic thing. Orton, Cena's not over, so how do you get him over? Have him, be on the same screen as Flair. He comes out, and basically all his promo consists of is just pretty much talking about Flair's accolades. That's all it is, and the crowd, cheers, but they're not cheering for Cena. They're cheering for Flair, actually. They're cheering for the accolades. They're not cheering for Cena. And WWE doesn't get this. See, their mentality is if Cena comes out there and he worships Flair the way the audience worships Flair, that people are going to worship Cena. How does that make any sense? But that's what they're doing, because they do the same thing with Daniel Bryan. Otherwise, why would they do that? We know Flair's good. We know he's a legend. What's the point of talking about his accolades again? It's to get Cena over, and Orton just walks away. Pointless, dumb, pathetic. This was probably one of the worst ways to open a fucking show, and the thing is, it's really sad because Flair was there. But I was fucking bored. I thought this was very terrible. Not an ounce of energy here. Not an ounce of trying. It was just poorly done and just a fucking piece of shit, basically. Then you got Rey Mysterio and the Usos, and they defeat the Wyatts. And this was the Wyatts with Daniel Bryan in there. Once again, how could you go wrong with a Daniel Bryan match? Well, for instance, he's in the Wyatts. Now, I've expressed that lately. I've decided that I like the Wyatts. Yeah, I like the Wyatts. But the problem is here, it was a shitty fucking match. And not only that, but this is Daniel Bryan's first match as a part of the Wyatts. And the team loses. Luke Harper tags himself in. And that's it. He gets fucking rolled up. He gets pinned. What the fuck is this fucking bullshit? They should be fucking winning. I know Daniel Bryan, at least he didn't get pinned. I know some people will probably use that argument against me here. But still, he fucking lost. He fucking lost. He was part of the losing team, so that means he lost. Why the fuck put him in a team just so he could fucking lose? What is this fucking bullshit? It wasn't even a good match. You could say, maybe at least it was a good match, even though his team lost. But no. It was a bad fucking match. It wasn't good at all. What the hell was the fucking point of putting him in here? He said he joined the Wyatts because the machine wouldn't let him win. Well, now he's with the Wyatts and he's still not winning. So what the fuck was the point? I don't get it. I could see maybe if he was in the Wyatts and he started winning and then, eventually branches out. But no, they ain't gonna fucking do that. And plus, there was no reason for him to join in the first place. But I'm just pretty much repeating the same thing I said in the last Raw review. Then it's fucking you got Bob Backlund, Sergeant Slaughter, and Arn Anderson in the back, and it's Brad Maddox just talking to them. You know, who is going to be voted to be in Damien Sandow in a Great Khali's match? Which one of these legends is going to be there? Well, you know, maybe they got something to say about this. You know, they're just lined up like, you know, a bunch of fucking dominoes. You know, and that's all there is. They, all three of them, none of them say fucking shit. No one of these guys has anything to say. Back in the day, they were cutting promos like crazy. You know, you couldn't shut up Bob Backlund, but now he's super quiet there. He didn't have anything to fucking say. And I don't know what the fuck that was all about. Then Kane, you know, he comes back. He just, you know, Kane just shows up when he feels like it. I don't see the point is he just comes every now and then. You know, certain shows he's there, other shows he's not. I don't understand it. But anyway, we got Kane talking to Brad Maddox and, you know, just some shit about don't get him angry because he might have to beat him up eventually. He might lose his job. Who the fuck cares? What is this going to lead to? A Kane and Brad and Maddox match? Is this something we really want to see? Fuck it. You know, at least Kane's not wrestling. At least all we have to do is sit through at least 5 minutes of boring fucking talking from him. At least he's not fucking wrestling anymore. Thank God for fucking that. Then you got Biggie Langston walking down a hall. Nikolai Volkov is singing. Then he comes to the $1 Million Man and he's just laughing for no fucking reason. He just says, I'm the $1 Million Man and everybody's got a price. Just pretty much saying his catchphrase. Then he walks over and the IRS says, you know, pay your taxes. I fail to see the fucking point. What the fuck is the point of this? I know it's old school Raw, but why do all the legends have to look like so many fucking mental cases? Why do they have to look like fucking weirdos in the back, like they're just hobos hanging around the alleyway? Like, that's, like, why are they all stationed around different parts of where Biggie Langston has to walk? Yeah, I know it's a fake show and it's all scripted, but it looks fucking stupid. And, you know, back in the day, these three guys were a pretty, like, important part of the show. You know, Nikolai Volkov was a big-time heel, $1 Million Man. He was a fucking champion at one point, you know, briefly. You know, when Andre the Giant handed the belt over to $1 Million Man. But, you know, now he's just laughing like a maniac in the back. And then IRS, you know, involved in some very big tag matches. But they're just, you know, acting like a bunch of goofballs backstage, basically. That's all it is. That's all it fucking is, I tells you. What a piece of shit. You know, like I said, it's old school Raw, but why every single... This is not just tonight, but every single time they show these legends, how many times... I know that Nikolai Volkov used to sing the Russian anthem, you know, back when the Cold War was going on. It made sense. It was a very, you know, cheap, but, you know, reasonable way for him to get heat as a heel. But still doing it to this day, backstage, just doing it for no fucking reason is stupid. And how many of these shows where they've had these legends come on, how many times has he done this with the Iron Sheik? It's enough already. Fucking end this type of thing. It's not funny. It never really was funny to begin with, and it never is. It's just stupid, and this isn't the PG era to blame. This is just WWE acting like fucking morons because they think this is funny, but that's enough of that. Then you got Biggie Langston defeating Curtis Axel, just a basic squash match. Ryback on commentary. I gotta say, I'm happy at least Ryback isn't doing that retarded voice anymore, you know, huffing and puffing like the big bad fucking wolf. You know, instead he's talking like a normal person, well, sort of. Sounds a little bit better, you know, not much better, but it's alright, and this was just a piece of shit match, and it wasn't even like, you know, Ryback got up and tried to fight Biggie Langston. He just sat there just at the table as he just, you know, beats up his partner. You know, okay, they're heels. Maybe they'd like to beat up on a couple of baby faces. I don't get it. I really don't fucking get it. It's boring. It's a show of people just standing around looking like retards, basically. But then again, that's almost every week. Well, then you got Piper's Pit. Yeah, Roddy Piper's back. Yeah, he's got the shield on Piper's Pit. I gotta say, not a bad segment. Not a bad segment at all. It's probably the first old school thing they've done on this show that actually makes fucking sense. And, you know, this is how they should be using the legends as a way to get the younger guys over. And Ambrose and Piper, I saw a little bit of chemistry there. My God, every single time I see Ambrose talk, it makes me fucking angry that Roman Reigns is the star of this group. You know, Dean Ambrose, he's the only one who's a champion in the group. And he also, there's a little funny line in here by Seth Rollins that, you know, he's a better U.S. champion than Roddy Piper's ever been. They don't even let him fucking defend a belt. When's the last time he defended the fucking belt? Yeah, you know, he's a champion. He's a great wrestler, a great personality is Ambrose, you know. I'm a big fan. I think he could go far if they fucking let him. Instead, this big goof Roman Reigns is getting all the spotlight. Let him defend his fucking belt. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. You know why they're at it? Unify the U.S. and Intercontinental belts. This is ridiculous. Why have they unified the world belts, but not unified the IC and US belts yet? I mean, come the fuck on already. Let's get it done. Let's do it. Let's get rid of the fucking US or Intercontinental belt. Take your pick. Then you got CM Punk. He comes out and the Outlaws to save Piper. It's the New Age Outlaws, so it's great to see them and everything. You know, but here's the problem. They're not there to fucking wrestle. What the fuck is the point? Instead, you're doing Punk versus Roman Reigns tonight. Why? Why are they doing this? This is old school Raw. What could be a better way to mix the new and the old than to have a 6-man tag match? Punk and the Outlaws versus the Shield. It would be a great fucking match, I think. I think that would be an excellent match. You know, the Outlaws, they seem like they're in shape. The past times when they've wrestled a little bit, they seemed okay. You know, it was cool to see them getting into it with the Shield, but, you know, a decent segment here. Not bad. The Piper Pit's, you know, talking bits were okay. It was Dean Ambrose on the mic and him, Piper, you know, going back and forth. It was pretty good. So I enjoyed this part of the show. Then it was Alberto Del Rio returning. I forgot he was gone. Defeating Sin Cara. So, you know, Sin Cara, he gets all these wins over Del Rio. Del Rio comes back and he beats Sin Cara. What the fuck is the point? Once again, I keep repeating this phrase. What the fuck is the point? Every single thing that they do in this company doesn't lead to jack shit. They do something like, for example, Sin Cara's winning streak. You know, you know, back in the day, winning streaks led to big pushes. A guy who strung together a couple of victories, and then you'd be like, hey, this guy looks pretty good. Probably should go for a belt or something. But now, just, you know, he wins and then he loses, and that's the end of the winning streak. That's it. It's just a winning streak, and a winning streak that doesn't mean jack shit. You know, they don't even try to make this like anything good, you know. When you win in sports, it moves you up the rankings, and eventually you make it to the playoffs, where you can eventually win a championship. But you know what? You know what? Guess what? That's not the way it works in professional wrestling nowadays. It used to be like that. You know, they don't keep score in wrestling. I realize that, but, you know, back in the day, they sort of did. But now it don't mean jack shit. A win in professional wrestling don't mean jack shit. So if a guy wins or loses, it really doesn't fucking matter, I guess. Because it just proves it here. This is just Del Rio. You know, he just beats Sin Cara with a kick. He cuts a promo, and he says that he's going to win the Royal Rumble. It ain't going to happen, folks. Let me tell you, son, pushing Del Rio, giving him that many belts in such a short amount of time, like how he won, was a big fucking mistake. The guy doesn't have it. He doesn't have what it takes to be a main eventer or a champion. He's got mid-card written all over him. He should have never went beyond Intercontinental or U.S. champion status. He should have remained over there. You know, this is like, in my opinion, Jeff Jarrett. Yeah, Del Rio's a lot like Jeff Jarrett, except Jeff Jarrett was more talented, I think. You know, Jeff Jarrett was fine as an IC or U.S. champion. That was all fine and well. He had talent, a couple of decent matches, but then they gave him the world belt, and it didn't look right. It didn't look like a world champion. It didn't look like a main eventer. It didn't wrestle like a main eventer. You know, so it was a big mistake, and that's the same way I feel about Del Rio. Big mistake making this guy a fucking champion. Then you got Cody Rhodes and Goldust defeating the Real Americans. It was a good match, folks. A good fucking match, like usual. Put Goldust in the match, and pretty much nowadays you automatically got a good match. Goldust is one of the best workers on the rosters. As I said, after Daniel Bryan is Goldust when it comes to work rate. CM Punk, he's not really doing it for me anymore. His matches are inconsistent. And, you know, his promos aren't much better. So Goldust, motherfuckers, is probably the second best wrestler in this fucking company right now. And this was another good match. You know, it's about fucking time since everything on this show has sucked so far. Then you got DDP. He's doing yoga in the back. Booker T tries to do yoga, and he hurts his back. Ron Simmons comes in and says, damn. If the way I described that sounded boring, that's because the fucking segment was fucking boring. Fucking boring me to fucking tears. What the fuck was the point? Just to have DDP there, just to promote his yoga, and Booker T jokes around, you know, oh, you're just here to promote your yoga. Well, yeah, that's exactly what he was there for. Yeah, and it's old school, and he might be one of the older wrestlers. I get that, but you know, here's the fucking thing. This is old school Raw, and all it's been, besides Piper's Pit being a part of storylines, which was much appreciated, it's nice when things make sense. Everything else that was old school so far was just a fucking joke. All it's been is just a bunch of retards standing around doing nothing. And this was basically it. DDP, my favorite fucking WCW wrestler. You know, I liked him even better than Sting. DDP, what a personality, what a wrestler. Nobody worked harder than DDP in WCW. Even during its shit times, DDP really fucking turned it up and really tried to make the company good again through his matches. But guess what? He's just backstage acting like a fucking goofball with Booker T and Ryan Simmons. You know, why not have a match? And, you know, he's in shape, he's doing all that fucking yoga. Why don't he go in there and have a fucking match, even if it's a squash match or something? Just fucking go out there and wrestle. Make old school Raw mean something more than a bunch of fucking old dudes standing around doing fucking nothing. That's all it is. It's just a bunch of fucking cameos, a bunch of useless fucking cameos, shameless fucking plugs for fucking yoga, and nothing else. Nothing else is good on this show. It's just fucking shit. Then it's time for the votes. So yeah, I know you're really excited about this. It's the Great Khali and Damian Sandow, and Sergeant Slaughter gets voted in as the special guest referee. Damian Sandow gets beat. Well, Happy New Year, motherfuckers. There you go. Damian Sandow, one of the best talents they got. A guy who should, you know, be getting the pushes, not Roman Reigns. You know, Damian Sandow, another guy just like Ambrose who's getting the shaft, gets beat by Khali. And here's the thing. You know why they're having this match? Because the fucking little botch last week, I don't even know if it was a botch or it was on purpose. Khali had his shoulder up, so now they're having a rematch. And Khali beat Sandow, but Sandow had his foot on the rope, and Sergeant Slaughter didn't realize it. What a fucking retard. Yeah, you know, that's probably the thing. He's old and senile. He doesn't fucking know when a fucking foot is on the goddamn rope. And then he puts him in the Cobra Clutch after they argue, and that's it. You know, Sandow looking like a loser getting beat up by an old fucking man. There you go. There's your fucking show. What a great year to start off the new year. This first show of 2014 is a bunch of fucking shit so far. Sandow loses to Cena. He loses to Mark Henry in a fucking Santa Claus outfit. Now he loses to a big fucking goof Khali. Man, this is just fucking shit. This is a fucking horrible card. What a fucking horrible fucking show. Then it's Brock Lesnar coming out with Paul Heyman. Decent promo by Heyman, I guess. But at this point, I'm just fucking losing it here. There's no reason to continue watching, but I did. Mark Henry comes out, he breaks Mark Henry's arm. That's all fine and well, whatever. I don't really see a point to this since Mark Henry's not going to wrestle Brock Lesnar. So why the fuck is there Brock and Mark Henry, fights all of a sudden out of the fucking clear blue sky? Then Brock Lesnar's about to leave and the Big Show comes out. Oh shit, here we go again. Not that Big Show and Brock didn't have a couple of decent matches back in the day, like in 2003, but we've already seen this. There's a bunch of new guys Brock can fight. And who are they going to pick? Big Show. He's probably going to face him at the Rumble or some shit. I don't fucking know. I guess I do know. I guess he is going to fucking wrestle him. So he runs out of the ring. Then when Big Show's not paying attention, he sneaks attacks him. And then Big Show throws Lesnar and he just rolls out of the ring and that's it. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking joking? Big Show has been picked up by Brock Lesnar and manhandled before. Lesnar's F5'd his ass almost 1,000 fucking times in the past. Now, after one throw, Lesnar's had it with him. That's it. He's thrown in the towel. Fuck this fucking show, making him look like a fucking pussy. Now, I know they've done this in the past with Lesnar as a cowardly heel, but not like this. They're touting him as the toughest guy in the whole fucking world of professional wrestling, and he just runs out of the ring after one move. Get the fuck out of here. What a bunch of shit. Then it's Oksana and Alicia Fox, and they're defeating the Bella Twins here. And, at least it's not one of these fucking 10, 12 diva tags. It wasn't the Total Divas versus the non-Total Divas. Thank fucking God for that. But it's still a Divas tag match, and almost by default it sucks, and this sucked too. And how pathetic. You got Brie Bella gets on the top rope, misses a missile drop kick. Oksana just simply pins her, and that's it. Have you ever seen this before in your fucking life? It wasn't even like a roll-up or anything. She just misses the kick, and it's a pin. That's it. How fucking pathetic can you possibly get? Could they make Brie Bella look any more weak? Could they make it a more pathetic display of professional wrestling? Could they make a bigger mockery of fucking wrestling than in this match? You miss a fucking kick and you get pinned? What is this fucking shit? I'll tell you what kind of fucking shit this is. Really fucking shit. It's a big fucking pile of shit, and it's really fucking shitty. Is that enough shits for you? I hope it is. Well, what do we got next? What the fuck is next? Oh, something good. Too Cool return. Haha. Yeah, I actually really like this. Not a bad match, really. Decent little novelty match here. Rikishi, Grandmaster Sexy. I'm not sure. Did Brian Christopher have any drugs on him this time? Was he moving any drugs across the Mexican border? Let me explain for the younger fans. This was a pretty big fucking tag team back in the day. Scotty 2 Hotty and Grandmaster Sexy got big fucking giant crowd reactions back in the day along with Rikishi. They used to dance and the crowd ate it up. Was it silly? Was it a little bit goofy? Yeah, but it was pretty fucking cool and I liked it. It was one of my top tag teams back then in 2000. Good tag team. Then Brian Christopher felt that all his fame and fortune wasn't good enough and he needed to sell drugs. And not only just sell them, but fucking transport them as well. He got caught by the police. Guess what? He was out the fucking door. Then they brought him back for a little bit. He was caught with drugs again, and then he was back out the door again. Well, he's back again, and I don't know if he's drug-free or anything, but he's been in indie hell for like 10 fucking years. They brought him back, and, well, it was a decent match with 3M, but you gotta say, decent little match. It was really good to see him. Felt pretty nostalgic. And you know what? It's an example. This was the only fucking match on the fucking card, and this is what I was talking about, where a classic wrestler should wrestle. You know, DDP's not getting off his ass. Ron Simmons isn't either. No one else is trying to have classic, you know, old school matches here. It's just, you know, it's just a couple of guys here that aren't even that old. You know, how old is Brian Christopher? Is he even 40 yet? The same thing goes for Scotty 2 Hotty. I mean, you know, I might as well put him out there. There's one fucking old school match on old school Raw, 3 hours of old school Raw, and all you get is 3 fucking old school wrestlers actually wrestling. Bull fucking shit. Oh, and they also tried to pull some fucking bullshit by saying that Goldust was one of the old school guys. Well, that might be so, but he's part of the main roster. And he's the fucking tag champ, so don't try to pull that shit on me. What's next? What the fuck is next? Oh yeah, Godfather comes out. The no crowd reaction. He doesn't even have any hoes with him. But what the fuck is the point of even bringing him out? I mean, he's not even the same character anymore. So you got all the other guys out there that they've already shown, Piper and the rest of them. And Bad News Barrett comes rising out of the fucking floor again, which is still pretty humorous to me. I mean, where the fuck does he come from? He just comes out of the goddamn floor. Like, the podium is like fucking 20 feet in the air. I thought they weren't going to do any more of this descending shit after Owen Hart, or, you know, ascending, whatever, you know, being at high perches and shit, where they don't have to be, but they do it anyway. And there you go. It's Bad News Barrett. He's telling all the legends that everybody's going to forget about them. They're all old and pathetic. But once again, just like last week, and you know, just like all the backstage segments, none of the legends have anything to say. They've just been insulted. They've been called old pieces of shit, and they're just all standing around looking like retards at Wade Barrett. Don't they got anything to say? They've just been insulted in front of thousands of people, and they ain't got nothing to say. Fucking bullshit right there. I mean, come on. You know, it was a little decent thing, I guess, Barrett said, an insult, but it was incomplete. There was nothing else from the opposition. You know, promos like this are supposed to go back and forth when you got more than one person on the screen. In this, you know, scenario, no. Nothing was said by the fucking legends, making them look like a bunch of fucking idiots. Then Gene Okerlund comes out. He says this joke about, you know, a hotline being $5.99 a minute. You know, a decent little throwback, but not much of a crowd reaction, which Okerlund acknowledges, by the way. So I guess it was all right to see Okerlund. He introduces the New Age Outlaws. They come out. They're not even there to wrestle, but at least they're in Punk's corner. And this match with Roman Reigns was pretty fucking boring. The crowd is chanting, "This is awesome." There was only like 5 moves in the match. Superman punch, elbow drop, neck breaker, and spear. That's it. You know? And a kick. There you go. There's your 5th one, motherfuckers. A fucking kick. The 5 moves in the fucking match, and an assortment of rest holds. And that's all it was. And a little bit of a distraction on the outside leads to a spear, and Punk gets pinned. Yeah, Roman Reigns gets to pin Punk. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins were 10 times better than fucking Punk. They can't even win against them. But Roman Reigns, a big fucking retard that doesn't have any fucking move set to speak of, fucking beats him like he's a sack of shit. That's all it is. And then at the end, you got Jake the Snake returning. They beat up the Shield. Jake the Snake comes back. Great to see Jake the Snake. He puts the snake on top of Dean Ambrose, Damien, or Damien number 73, whichever Damien this is. He's a different color or something. Whatever. He's back. Puts the snake on him, and that's it. It's great to see Jake the Snake. What the fuck was the point? Why was Jake the Snake there? He just came out of nowhere, puts the snake on him, and that's it. In the main event, that's it. How? Why? What? Why did it? Random! That's the best way to fucking sum up this show. A random fucking piece of shit that sucked. It was fucking terrible. The whole thing was random, stupid fucking bullshit that made no fucking sense. And the way how the show ended was just trash. Retarded. Jake the Snake is a great legend. It was great to see this fucking drug addict come back out of nowhere. Just like Grandmaster Sexy. Yeah, bringing back all the drug addicts. Woohoo! Yeah, it's a good time here in professional wrestling. Bringing back all the crackheads and the drunks and all that. At least Piper seemed a bit sober. He was a normal drunk right there. Last time he was on there with Cyndi Lauper, I thought the guy was about to fucking fall on his face. But he seemed okay tonight. Yeah. Jake the Snake just comes back out of fucking nowhere, just lays a snake on top of Dean Ambrose. You could have taken him and put him in any match and done the same. But I guess if they're going to pick a random match, you might as well do it in the main event. What a shitty fucking retarded show. Like, 2 things were decent on here. The Piper's Pit was okay, and the Goldust tag match. But this main event was fucking shit, and fucking morons are chanting, "This is awesome." You know what I want to chant? You are morons. You are morons. Come on. Let's raise our standards a bit. Or just at least have any at all. Come on. Wasn't awesome. It was fucking bullshit. This whole fucking show was fucking shit. Even if it was a good match, this show, Vince McMahon doesn't even deserve to have us chant anything positive towards it. It was garbage. Fucking random horse shit. And all they're doing all night is making their legends, ones that make Vince McMahon all the fucking millions and billions of dollars, making them look like fucking jackasses. This is fucking terrible. A fucking insult and a slap to the face again by WWE. Taking all these great wrestlers, DDP and all of them, and the only fucking wrestlers that are made to look good are too cool, which, no, I don't have a problem with that, but still, just a boring sack of shit this show was. It was terrible, it was an insult, I never want to talk about it ever again. They should just fucking put this show in the vault, lock it up, chain it up in a big box, and throw it into the fucking ocean. I don't want to remember this ever again. Yeah, just destroy every fucking tape of it. It was horrible.